Let's look at hip roll Juji Gatame. It is one of the 4 core basic ways of doing Juji Gatame, at least the way we approach it. You know, you can have a systematic way of doing things, and this is one of the 4 basics, so it really works quite well. This is very good to catch a guy with if he's high up on his hands. So if he comes up, and these guys are a high parterre, have had a lot of wrestling or whatever background, Mike is giving Derek so many opportunities and holes and handles to use here. Hip roll Juji Gatame is a very good choice of how to roll him into the arm lock. So basically, just go ahead, do one. He's going to do it, catches it, and rolls him over. And again, we call it hip roll because you're rolling in the direction of the bottom guy's hip. He's rolling toward his hip, as opposed to a head roll. Can you demo a head roll Juji Gatame so we can see the difference? Here's the head roll Juji Gatame. See, rolled Mike over his head. Again, the direction we're rolling the guy in. So let's parse it out here a little bit. So we'll do a couple levels. One is pretty basic when Mike's up a little higher, okay? And then the second one, if Mike is lower and Derek tries a head roll, it doesn't quite get it and has to revert to a hip roll. So we'll do that too. But right now, let's work this. You want to coach it? Sure. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to start from like the back corner, because a lot of times this ends up happening. You're riding the guy and trying to get hooks in, and he's trying to brace back up. That's usually where you'll get the parterre stance. So what we're going to do is we realize he's already going to try and come up, but he's giving you a gift with the arms. So instead of trying to full on just grab onto his back and have him step up, what I'm going to do is take advantage of the fact that he's at that angle. So the first thing is we step over and put one hook in, and usually that gives him the misconception that I'm going to put the other hook in. Okay, so we post, and then I'm going to lace, just like we do with the head roll. I'm going to put that hip hook in with my laced leg.
And again, that's his anchor, just like we do the head roll, so it's important to anchor that.
Yep. Okay, head goes down, and now I'm on my forearm, and I'm posting on my head. We grab the arm, and we put that leg around his head. And it's important to squeeze nice and tight on the face, and not keep it straight. That's the #1 thing that we see everybody messing up with it, is because if your leg is straight-ish, he's going to be able to fight against it. If I squeeze his head wherever my hips go, he's going to go. So it's like 170 pounds rolling that way with his head, he's going to go that way. Okay?
Yeah, when you're doing that, what he's talking about, when you hook that leg, it's almost like you're doing an osodogari or a reaping action in the throw. You're pointing your toe, and you're kind of squeezing his head with your legs, the bottom top of your legs. So watch Derek again for a second.
Okay, bring that arm through, squish, and away we go. And the idea here is if you're doing it correctly, when you roll over, that foot that's around his face nicely plants onto the mat. Okay? If you're not doing it correctly, your foot either never touches, he pushes it off, or your heel bounces on the mat. Okay?
Notice also when he finishes the roll, Derek comes up onto his buttocks to finish. That's where a lot of people, for some reason, the hip roll, they don't finish by coming up enough. Yeah. You'll see that in other variations of Juji Gatame, but not this one. So be sure when you finish the roll, you come up with your buttocks and you finish and roll back and catch it.
And then again, remember, it doesn't matter what flavor of Juji Gatame you're doing, you know, roll back, head roll, hip roll, Adam's roll, you know, spinning Juji Gatame, they are all the same as spinning Juji Gatame, they're just slightly in different, you know, configurations. This one's like upside down, that's it. Okay, and then you're rolling that way. So finish is always the same. If you finish the same, you control with your legs the same, you can move it easy. All the way up and back.
Now you see guys, when he finished also, but you notice when he started, he said put post with your head, your hand, and then your head. Don't just go banging your head on the mat, because that'll hurt, okay? Yeah. So, but do put your hand down, and you notice how quickly he posted his hand and posted his head. And you can do that, it just comes with practice.
So it's, I like to think of it kind of like a brake, like when you're doing the kata hajime, the lapel is kind of your hand brake. So if you go flying over it too quickly and you're afraid you're going to mash your face in the mat, you know, you can pull on the lapel. Well, in this case, you hold on tight to the arm and you put your non-gripping hand down first, and you can kind of collapse down on your forearm, and it's easy. And then your head comes down nicely and you can post instead of smashing your face against the mat. okay? So I've got good control, I step over, forearm down, head down, hook, grab your thigh, hook his face, tuck your shoulder, roll over, sit up, and sit back.
It's a very efficient rolling movement of the Juji Gatame. And just boom, boom, see how he does that. You notice he posts on top of his head, you know, for good balance. And there it is, hip roll, Juji Gatame. Can you do just one more? Sure. Normal speed. Let's give that a try, and we'll come back with a different variation. And let's take a look now at the hip roll Juji Gatame as a backup, a plan B, okay? Plan B. Derek likes the head roll Juji Gatame. Mike knows he likes it. Derek's going to attack with this. But watch what happens when Derek starts to put his foot on Mike's head and try to do the head roll. Mike slips it off and knocks the head off. So Derek can now put his leg and foot under Mike's head and do the hip roll, so he can change directions. So watch, you're basically changing directions from a head roll Juji Gatame to a hip roll Juji Gatame. So Mike slipped that off. There you go. And he had to change. See what he did? Sometimes the guy will do that. He'll shut your leg off. And in this case, this is a good plan B. You want to coach it through?
Sure. So this is where coach is always telling us to be patient. Okay. This is a perfect example of it. We've got the position. There's no reason to give up just because the head roll isn't materializing. So you've got his arm, you've got your feet where they're supposed to be, you have control of everything you need to. He will get out when he thinks of getting out. Don't let him get out just because whatever move that you're doing isn't working. There's something else there that you can follow up with. And this is probably my perfect example of it. Okay, so when I come through here, I'm moving through and I'm doing everything that I would to get the head roll. Most of the time I'm even wanting the head roll. I pop through like that. I'm trying to get my foot there, and he's doing a good job of pushing my foot off. Another way would be if they actually like jack their head up real high. Either way, you're not going to get a head roll with that. It doesn't matter which way he goes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip that foot in front of his face and squish again. Okay? And then we roll right over.
You notice he changed the direction of the roll. He was going to roll over head roll. Now he's rolling to the direction of Mike's hip instead of the head. So
two things. He's expecting the head push me to continue banging heads with him like two rams. You know, you're pushing my foot off. No, I'm going to go right back and I'm going to force you to head roll and we're going to go that way. But I'm not. I go the opposite direction. I go underneath his face and I roll him this way. So he can't defend both the front of his face, the back of his head, and two different directions. Okay? And as you saw, it's just moving your foot just barely in front. Everything else is the same. So don't give up. Don't sell out for one thing. If it's not working, wait and see how he's reacting and then take advantage of it. In this case, and you'll be surprised how many times this happens. You're trying to head roll him. He's pushing with his head. And you're like, why isn't it working? You're like, oh, okay, he's pushing with his head. I'll just head roll. Okay? So come back through, post with the head, scoop the arm. I'm pushing down super hard. He gets my foot off of his face. I'm going to hook and then roll right back.
And that's the first heel. Shuck that foot off the face just like Mike did there. Or, as Derek said earlier, he might pop up and keep you from, because of the strength of his neck and upper body, try to keep you from rolling him over his head. So Mike, can you do that this time? Yeah. So watch. And this is a common thing too. So Derek's doing the head roll and Mike posts up. There. That happens a lot. He says, no, I'm not buying that. Okay, I'll take you the other direction. So have that plan B ready. And how you have that plan B ready is, like he talked about, posting on the top of the head and being balanced there. I have a field of vision now. Can you do that again real quick here? When he comes in, he's doing it, again, he's starting his hip roll. Now see, he's on his head, and he's looking. He has a field of vision here. He's seeing what Mike's doing, okay? And he can, and he sees Mike's not buying it. It pops up. Okay, I see that, and I can change directions. So don't be in a hurry. Post on that head, balance yourself, and be stable. It's kind of like it's like a ride in wrestling. You're riding them for control to beat them with whatever move you want to do. Okay. So all right, let's do one more and then let you practice. Just change the direction. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the hip roll Juji Gatame again, and we're going to combine it with a nice little strangle here. And I'm going to have Sandy Harrelson come in, and you want to coach it through, Sandy? You want to talk? And you and Derek can handle this, okay?
It's just like you're going to try to do either the head roll or the hip roll. And the person who's being choked or being arm locked doesn't want to cooperate. He won't pick his head up and he won't put his chin under it so you can get in it, but you can't get your leg in. So what you're going to do is you take the hand that's closest to the head, you reach under and grab the opposite lapel and pull it through. That makes him start lifting his head. Then when you pop the leg over, you've got arm bar and a double choke going at the same time.
So,
Yeah, Derek, can you show that too with you? Because it's hard for people to see.
so if Mikey's right here, and I'm on this side, I'm reaching through and I'm grabbing the far lapel. And even if he has his head super down and tight and I don't get the choke, I can still grab that enough that when I pull, it moves him backwards. And that allows me to get my foot in front of his face and roll him over.
It may not necessarily choke him, but it certainly will pull the head up, and it could lead to a strangle.
It's sure the choke at the hand that's closest to his head.
Right, you're gonna have to switch your hands in order to do this. But that, again, is a patience thing. You'll get used to doing that. It's not that hard. You're already posting on your head, okay? So we come through, we post down. Okay, I'm trying to get this through to work. It's not working. So I'm gonna move my foot back. I'm gonna put my knee on the mat, but keep my foot hooked on his hip. This gives me an extra balance point so I can switch my hands. And normally I'll grab my lapel at this point so I've got an anchor. And then this hand just shifts right through and grabs that lapel. Okay, see how it's right on the far lapel? All right, and at this point, we're not worried about choking him, we're worried about pulling his head up. Up, hook, roll. Okay, and if you want, you can try and finish the choke, but more often than not, you're going to slide back into the juji. So, if you get a tap from the choke while you're under there, great, but that's not really the purpose. It's like a Christmas present. If it happens, you're like, great, but that wasn't really what I was trying to do. Wait for his head to come up, roll him, okay? Okay, down again, not working. Switch the hands. Okay, grab the lapel, slip that hand through there, lift up, and over we go.
You said it's enough, like what we're talking about. Coming, get everything on nice and set, turn your head. You have to end up switching hands, reaching through, grabbing the choke, then get your leg down. You can pull him up, and as you do, you're choking him. And then you come to the... So stars. Not very funny. You see stars. It works.
But, you know, this guy's been around the block a few times. He may peel that off, and he doesn't want that on the back of his head, okay? And what Derek's going to do, he's going to try and hook there, and he's going to go reverse the direction. He's going to roll in the direction of his hip. That's why we named it hip roll and head roll. You're rolling in the direction of his head. In this case, you're rolling in the direction of his hip. So, there we go. So, you know, you may have this set, and the guy peels that off and stops it, okay? Or whether he lifts his head just like you did, okay, of a posturality, so he could, okay, so in that case, slip it back under, reverse the direction, roll toward the direction of his hip. So that's why it's vital that you don't drop on one shoulder or the other, you stay posted on your head when you do this. So boom, he's popping in there. Now see how he's posted, now see that and he goes the other direction. And there you go. And that works really well. Or chin whip. Yeah, chin whip, that's right. That's right.
An important add-on to that, guys, when you're coming through for this, okay, I'm not just putting my foot there, okay, because then I might do this, and again, he stacks and pulls his arm out, okay? You're squeezing his face between your heel and the back of your thumb.
You're hooking, that's a hook.
Hook, squeeze, okay, and then you just have to turn over and his head goes
Like you said, it's like a chin whip.
Yeah.
It really is because you're whipping him back.
I call it Uchimata in his head.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, one more time so everybody can see it. So you can see, and you might like just go for this move. There you go. So it's a good backup move, or it could be a good move. I found that two primary athletes, types of athletes, like the hip roll over the head roll. Females, because of their wider hip structure, I mean, just the way they're built, they have a stronger hip structure than shoulder structure than men do, okay? That's females do. And also heavyweight men, because of the girth. It's just the way it is. So, if that's the case, you make it work for you. We good? Let's give it a try.